Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Top Rope Podcast. It is double prediction time. We are predicting Double or Nothing from AEW this coming Sunday. But before we get there, right now, we are predicting the WWE's King and Queen of the Ring. We're going to get to that here coming up. But let's start with the WWE Championship. Not calling it the Universal Championship anymore. They are saying undisputed WWE Champion. Well, it's not really disputed anymore, is it? If we have the heavyweight champion and Damian Priest. But I digress. I really liked whenever it was called the Universal Championship. If you're going to have the two belts, World Heavyweight Champion versus WWE Champion. I don't get confused as much with Cody and Damian, knowing which one to, but with those tag team championships, I couldn't tell you whether Miz and R-Truth were the Worlds or the WWE, and the same dang thing with Waller and Theory. But I digress. This WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, obviously. Prediction, Cody Rhodes going to win this thing. No surprise. I mean, they're not going to let him lose that title this early on in his run. There's just absolutely no way. I am a little bit more excited for this championship match than I was his first one against AJ Styles. My excitement level is about an 8.5. I just think Logan Paul is fantastic in the ring and is very good on the mic. So the story they've had coming in with these two has not been horrible, except for the contract signing the other night. Like, why even tease it at all that it's going to be for both titles? I guess it makes sense. Cody, never been a Grand Slam champion, but then you do the whole contract signing so Logan Paul can worm his way out of it. I mean, maybe just to get more heat on Logan Paul is why they're not going to do a champion for champion, or was it in one of those situations where they had it in their mind that they were going to maybe do it for both titles, and now then they changed their mind, so then that's why they booked themselves out of that during that contract signing. I don't know really how I feel about it. That's fine, I guess it's just for the WWE Championship, because otherwise, Cody would have just had both of those titles for quite a long time, and I don't think you'd want to do a deal where he loses the U.S. title, Then it would just be a unified United States World Heavyweight WWE Universal Undisputed 24. I sound like R-Truth now. So I get it. I guess they just didn't want it to be like, oh, okay, well, we're fighting for that. So why wouldn't Cody want to win that and be a Grand Slam champion? So you get more heat on Logan Paul by him, having the whole lawyer thing, and I guess it allowed for a storyline during the contract signing. So that's all fine and dandy. I'm excited to see how these guys mesh together in the ring and what's the finish going to be. I'll tell you exactly what I think it's going to be. So I had predicted for WrestleMania, I wanted to see Cody Rhodes go through absolutely every last member of the bloodline and do it all on his own. Now, of course, we got all the different interferences and some callbacks to some legends, and I didn't really love, I popped pretty hard, all those guys coming back, and it made sense for the most part. I mean, obviously, I think we were all hoping for Stone Cold instead of The Undertaker, even though that was cool, I suppose. It wasn't horrible by any stretch of the imagination what happened there, but Cody still needed help. I think this is where they right that quote-unquote wrong for those that didn't like that, because I thought, well, if Cody gets help, he's going to look a little bit weak. It didn't really look weak too much because you just had it was just even in the odds, right? Well, I think this is a perfect opportunity where he can go through every last member of Logan Paul's entourage, because they're not nearly as strong as any member of the bloodline is, right? So why not? They could have the ref get bumped, have it look like, Cody's taking out all the entourage, takes all them guys out, and it looks like Logan Paul, give him the brass knucks, got the brass knucks. Looks like he's going to hit Cody Rhodes with the brass knucks. Boom. Cody ducks under it, off the rope. Cody cutter. 1, 2, 3. Or, well, I guess he can hit him with a couple of crossroads at least, maybe just one. I don't think it's needed. 2 or 3's, maybe 2. but probably just one, out of nowhere with the Cody, and then the ref gets up slowly. I don't think Cody would pick up the brass knucks. He's a baby face. He's a pure baby face. He's not going to pick up the brass knucks. So he's just going to hit him with that Cody cutter after Logan Paul misses with the brass knucks, after he takes out every last member of Logan Paul's prime entourage. 1, 2, 3, Cody Rhodes retains the WWE Championship. Elsewhere on the card at King and Queen of the Ring this Saturday from Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I guess the crowd's okay over there. They're a little bit different. A little bit different. I'm sure they definitely won't be as crazy as France was, but they also probably won't be as annoying as France was at times either. And I get it, going overseas, as I've talked about before. I get why they want to go all these different places, but we've been there to Saudi before, but they pay a lot of money to have it, so more money in WWE's pocket, more extravagant stuff that they can bring to us, the fans. We got your Women's World Championship. Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan. So my excitement level for that world title, WWE Championship, see I'm already screwing it up, between Cody and Paul was about an 8.5, 9 for this one. And I'm going to say it's at about a 7. And we'll see. I'm going to get to, I don't know whether to be top 25 or just probably top 10 for men's and women's. Might just do top 10s this time around after we get through our predictions from both these shows. And don't forget to hit like, follow, subscribe. All that good jazz. Much obliged. But you'll see in my top 10 coming up a little bit later, I don't have Becky Lynch. Well, I don't have her at the top. I don't know. She's been okay. But again, she won it in the Battle Royal, and the only reason she's champion is because Rhea Ripley's not now. That's aside, though. She's had, I think, one title defense since then. And she's done some stuff since then. So what's she really done? I don't know. She just, to me, cuts, it's nothing bad, nothing wrong with her promos. She does do a decent job of trying to fire the crowd up. I don't know. It just seems to me like they're all the same. They're all the same kind of promos. There's nothing really mixing it up too much that I've felt like with Becky Lynch on her promos and everything. In ring's fine. I'm more interested in Liv Morgan in this whole thing. And I thought their back and forth on Raw between Becky and Liv, it was probably C range. It wasn't fantastic. Becky's definitely a little more seasoned, a little more believable on the mic than Liv Morgan. She says, I'll be the women's world champion. And I don't know, just the way her tone and the way her pauses were just kind of come off as unnatural. She's trying to make it feel natural, trying to make it feel impactful, but I don't know, it just doesn't. But it's not horrible. I'm still very interested in her. This is to me, I don't know, I'm sure I probably missed other little small things here and there, but this is to me the first real thing that I've clung to that tells me that yes, she absolutely is 1,000% a heel, but she was doing it by calling Becky Lynch different names and saying that she was gaslighting the WWE universe. So she was basically just trying to tell the crowd that they were duping her. Well, of course the crowd's not going to believe Liv because they love Becky. So I think that was all okay. And then she did take a few shots at the crowd, and the crowd was booing Liv some. But I think they just should have been doing this stuff a lot sooner with her. And if I thought they should have gave it to Liv right in that Battle Royal and put the heat right on her. But what better way now if Becky Lynch has a short title reign, Liv cheats her way to victory to get this Women's World Championship, completes the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. To me, she's got to complete it. Maybe not here. Maybe it's at the next pay-per-view. Usually, though, you see the heels win and retain, and then eventually the baby faces get their comeuppance. So it would be a little bit backwards booking in that regard. But I just feel like Liv Morgan's got to finish this revenge tour. Otherwise, where does she go? Back of the line, back to being not that relevant. It's one of those deals where she's not protected. If she loses, she's not over as a heel. She's not getting enough heat as a heel to where she could take the loss and the crowd would still want to boo her. I think she's got to win this. I don't know. At the end of the day, my My gut tells me to pick Becky Lynch and that she's probably going to retain, but I'm really, if it's me booking this, I'm putting the title on Liv Morgan. I'm putting the title on Liv Morgan. I'm getting heat on Liv Morgan. Becky Lynch will be fine, long as Liv cheats her way to victory. And then, I don't know, maybe Liv can have it for a couple months, and then maybe Becky gets it back from her at SummerSlam. Do we get anybody else involved in the title picture before them? Or can Becky and Liv carry this thing out through SummerSlam? When's Rhea Ripley coming back? I just think when Rhea Ripley comes back, she needs to come back 1,000% babyface. Break up Judgment Day by then. We could already see there's some really big cracks now at the foundation. Ground's starting to shake a little bit. You heard Damian Priest on Raw the other night say, I don't even recognize you guys. So I think maybe there is no Judgment Day for Rhea Ripley to come back to. So she comes back, 1,000% babyface. Liv Morgan will have hopefully built up a decent heel run as the champion by then. Just cheating her way to victory over Becky Lynch. Becky's just trying to get her comeuppance, and you know, she doesn't get her comeuppance. I don't know what you do with Becky after that, but you know, I just feel like she's fine. She'll be fine. Crowd's still gonna love her. You could play the, you know, don't go to playing what they did before and turn her into a crybaby heel and a crazy heel, you know, like keep her a baby face, but just, you know, put her in something else for now. After she loses this, assuming Rhea's going to be back for SummerSlam. If not, maybe, like I said, maybe Becky takes it back from her at SummerSlam, but then she'd be the champ eventually whenever Rhea comes back, and they're both baby faces. No, I think you got to give it to Liv here and let her run with it no matter how long it takes. And if not here, at the next pay-per-view. But my gut tells me Becky Lynch, but I don't know. Official prediction, I'm going to go with Liv Morgan. I say Liv takes it. We see most title runs are long runs now. You know, we don't see how many times Becky won it. I don't know, 7, 8. I don't know. Put it in the comments. But you know, if she wants to get up there as one of the most decorated champions, have her lose it, have her get it back eventually. You know, to me, like as long as it get like a couple, 2, 3 title defenses, and you have the belt for 3, 4 months. Like I mean, I totally respect Roman's long run. Gunther's long run. It's the day of long runs, and I think Rhea would have had it to at least till next year's WrestleMania if she wouldn't have got hurt. So we're seeing long runs, but why not throw in a couple 2, 3 months, 3, 4 months title reigns and then give it to somebody else for a little bit, you know? Pass it around a little bit. I don't think it hurts the belt that bad. Not, you know, it's not like we're just handing it back and forth every month and we're going to be doing this all the time, but does everybody need to have a 6, 8, 10, 12 month long reign? Yeah. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Segment level 7, going Liv Morgan. Intercontinental Championship, Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, Bronson Reed. My excitement level is at about an 8.5. So maybe just slightly below, or maybe, yeah, I'll say slightly below Cody and Logan Paul. Just because it's, you know, triple threats. I love me some triple threats. I'd say I like triple threats probably more than I like fatal 4-ways, just because you can't do the pairing off things. I mean, sure, you could have one guy go down for a little while and you get one-on-ones. And I mean, sure, pairing off in fatal 4-ways and having some crazy action going on is fun, but I really like the dynamic of 3 people. I'm sure the wrestlers will tell you it's probably a little easier to do 3 rather than 4. I love me some triple threat action. I say that Sami Zayn retains. If not, my second guess would be that Bronson Reed takes it, but way too short. This is definitely way too short in Sami Zayn's title run, especially if they're going to give that to Liv Morgan. I don't think Sammy's losing this because I don't know. It's been an okay run at Intercontinental Champion so far. I don't think it's one of those deals where you could say he's doing a terrible job, so let's get it off of him. But I don't think he's like doing a super great job, so it's like, okay, we don't want to get it off of him because then his run's going to look pretty bad. So we need to give himself a chance to prove that something really great here. And I think that he will do that in taking out Chad Gable and Bronson Reed. But here's how I think that it gets done. I think that we will see that Otis turns babyface. I was kind of second guessing it in my head. Maybe they saved that for the show Raw after this match. Maybe just Sammy retains clean. But I don't know. With everything that's been going on with Otis and Maxine and Tozawa, I think they get involved here. I think maybe this is what happens. Tozawa, because this is how I was thinking about I'd book it. Tozawa and Maxine get involved. They finally do turn on Chad Gable, get Maxine smacking Chad Gable in the mouth. And Tozawa, man, it would be freaking hilarious if Tozawa just came up, did a little stomp thing that he does, maybe slaps him in the face and starts dancing. Oh, man, that would be some decent stuff. You could do that while Sammy and Bronson are going out at it, and then Chad's on the outside of the ring like, hey, guys, help me, get this. And then we see Maxine give that look, and then Tozawa does the same thing, and then Otis, like, doesn't help him, but also doesn't just totally turn on him. Like, he's really resilient. Maybe Chad's asking for a steel chair, and then you could have Otis like hesitate to give him the steel chair or whatever weapon of choice, and that ends up costing Chad Gable. Like again, I don't know. You have to figure out what you're doing with Bronson at this time. Maybe he was wiped out. Maybe Sammy had taken him out moments before. And while Sammy's doing that, we're seeing all this other stuff go on with Chad. Like the timing of it would have to be pretty good. But yeah, and then you got another week or two. Then you got Maxine, and you got Tozawa saying, we're so much happier without him. Because Sami Zayn's been in his ear, and it's working. It's working. What Sammy did in that backstage with Otis the other night, and then the follow up with Chad Gable, like, oh, I see what you did there. Playing to his heartstrings, but obviously Otis is not. He's caught in between here, and Sammy's trying to give Otis a little bit of rub, saying, listen to the people out there, and you could hear him chanting Otis, like, I think this is going to turn Otis into a really big baby face again, like he was right before the pandemic. I would argue he was one of their top 3, 4, at least top 5 baby faces, and then the pandemic hit, and it killed all of his momentum. And then eventually, I guess he might have been babyface for a little while after that, but it wasn't getting over like he was before. Then they turned him into a heel. And slow marination, back to being one of the better baby faces. And now the babyface field is very, very crowded at the top, but I think Otis will fit in really, really nicely as a really solid baby face. Drink to every time I say really. I think so. That's what they're planting. I don't know. I don't think we'll see it all at King and Queen of the Ring, but I think we're going to see exactly what I said. That's how I'm booking it. Moving on. Like, follow, subscribe. Like, follow, subscribe. Thank you. All right. I suppose we're on to the King and Queen of the Ring finals, it looks like. I'm on cage side seats here, getting my rundown. So, we saw Monday Night Raw, Gunther over Jey Uso. Little bitty tiny ref bump, just enough to cause that cover to be the count to be a little bit slow, and the ref with the count, kick out. Gunther ends up making Jey Uso tapped out. I know, there's going to be a kind of a ho-hum letdown reaction from the crowd, but I thought it was booked very, very nicely. Protected Uso. Smart. It was smart. It was really smart. And you protect him by, you don't want to have your baby. Never, ever, to me, this is Wrestling 101. Rarely, if ever, should you have your baby faces tap out. They should be passing out almost every single time. And so that was smart. But now that it's Gunther, as of this recording, this prediction show, we don't know if it's going to be Randy Orton or Tama Tonga, but don't we know? Don't we know? It's going to be Randy Orton. I think Gunther wins it. If Uso would have won, then it would have probably been Tonga. Now, they could swerve us and have it be Tama Tonga and Gunther, but is there really money in that? I mean, at least I guess at that point, you have a little bit of doubt that Gunther might win because the bloodline could get involved, but I mean, Gunther's still a heel, right? It'd be heel. Ludwig Kaiser's kind of separated himself from him. They keep saying Imperium, but man, with the way Ludwig Kaiser's doing those backstage promos and his mic work is like, okay, I'm getting a singles run. I'm gonna up my mic work even more, and he's been phenomenal. He's been excellent. So to me, Gunther's kind of on his own pretty much. Like, I don't know, maybe they do slow transition into a baby face, but I think still for now he's a heel. Tama Tonga's a heel, so don't see that happening. I see it being Orton, and I think that'll be a phenomenal matchup. And what a guy for Gunther to go over against. If Gunther beats Tama Tonga, meh. Even if he had to go through some of the bloodline to beat him, meh. And I don't think that's a good way to protect the bloodline. I think you figure out a way to protect the bloodline on SmackDown on Friday, and you do that by having Kevin Owens help out Randy Orton and getting Randy Orton to the finals. And I think that's what'll happen. My excitement for Gunther and Orton is pretty high. I would say it's right up there with Cody and them, 8.5, 9. But yeah, going for official prediction will be Gunther. And last but not least, Queen of the Ring finals. We saw Lyra Valkyria beat Io Sky on Raw. We still got Nia Jax, Bianca Belair to go on SmackDown. So Lyra's a babyface, right? So don't want to have her go up against Bianca. Nia Jax beats Bianca Belair. I think maybe somehow Jade Cargill, maybe she tries to help Bianca and ends up costing her the match, but we're not really seeing them get mad at each other at all, but just kind of like that, hey, it's okay, but it plants that little, very small, tiny first seed of Bianca and Jade eventually breaking up. Like I said, wouldn't really be nothing to it, but like, okay, it's okay, don't worry about it, and don't have Bianca show any signs that she's frustrated at all. But yeah. So I think that's what should happen. I think Nia should win. I think then Lyra can have a very good matchup against Nia, but I think Nia goes over. I mean, I can just see it. I see it now. I see Nia being an annoying queen, directing everybody around. I see her sitting on that throne. I could see it plain as day. I could see Gunther sitting on it plain as day. Sorry I didn't get on here and give my official predictions before the tournament brackets were unveiled, but that was what I was thinking the whole time. Gunther and Nia Jax. It's smart for both of these wrestlers to win. Gunther, because he lost the Intercontinental Championship. He's the ring general. He's the king. I mean, it just fits perfectly for him. And what a great way for him to rebound. I mean, I think he's already been looking strong and it's fine, but what a great way. Put that on him. That will give him more clout, prestige for whenever eventually he goes up against Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. So I think that's smart. Nia Jax, she's been doing a lot of good work, but she hasn't won, quote unquote, the big one. And I know this wouldn't be for a title, but it would be the next closest thing. And I just think she could do such a great job with that Queen of the Ring character. I mean, these are plain as day. They've been plain as day from the start. Although, with that said, when the brackets first come out, yeah, I mean, it was interesting. It was interesting to try to figure out and navigate. And I'm not saying this was predictable by any means, but to me, that's how I'd book it. And I think that's how they will book it. And that is my WWE King and Queen of the Ring PLE predictions. AEW Double or Nothing is coming right up. Don't forget to hit like, follow, subscribe. All right, guys, here's the lineup as of right now. As of this recording, still got one Dynamite to go, but I'm going to go ahead and give you my official predictions and how I'd book it for AEW Double or Nothing. 5 year in it. We're at 5 years now for AEW. Wow. That's pretty amazing. They've lasted this long. It's topsy-turvy at times. I think we're on an upswing. I think we're on an upswing right now with AEW. Been into it ever since the Young Bucks did what they did to Tony Khan. Getting kind of that takeover angle. Swerve Strickland's not done a bad job as champion, other than them not booking him to be the first person we saw after he won the championship on Dynamite. They waited till Collision to do that promo. But that aside, I think he had a really good match against Brian Cage on last week's Dynamite. It was a qualifier, I think. And smart, they got Swerve Strickland out of the Mogul Embassy. Where was Prince Nana, though? He's still with Swerve, I believe. I believe he chose Swerve, or maybe he's caught in the middle of this thing right now. I don't remember seeing him with Swerve in last week's match. So hopefully we'll see him on Dynamite tomorrow, and definitely at Double or Nothing. But I think Swerve way too early. Swerve Strickland retains now. Like, as far as how he does it, that's a tough one. How does he do it? Because Christian Cage got the patriarchy. We're going to see Mama Wayne and Nick and Killswitch. I'm sure they'll probably all try to get involved. And if they do, how does that go down? Well, I don't know. Do they ever pay off the Killswitch to a babyface turn? For a while there, crowd was chanting Killswitch, or no, I'm sorry. They were chanting Luchasaurus after Christian changed him to Killswitch. And they had about a, 3-4 week window there where they could have did a storyline where, quote unquote, Killswitch didn't like being called Killswitch, wanted to be Luchasaurus still. They turned him back into a babyface. I mean, I do love Christian Cage having the muscle. Obviously, Nick's not his muscle. Mama Wayne might be. No. I like Christian having the muscle, but I do think they missed an opportunity to turn Killswitch into the baby. Maybe it's not too late. Maybe it is too late, but they try it anyways. Other than that, I don't know. I see Swerve just figuring out a way to overcome all the obstacles. Ooh, Prince Nana. Yeah, we didn't see him. We haven't seen him. I mean, we don't usually see him get physical, but maybe some way your heels can be trying to cheat. Prince Nana helps out. I don't know, maybe he takes out Swerve, knocks down Killswitch and Nick, and then we see Mama Wayne trying to get involved, and Prince Nana stops her from getting involved, takes the win. But I don't know. I would say maybe there won't be a whole lot of crazy interference, but there probably will be. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I say Prince Nana somehow helps Swerve keep that. Just one little small thing. I mean, they are faces, so as long as the heels do it first, right? It's okay for the babyface manager to retaliate and help, so it'll be fine. But I could see Swerve just overcoming all the odds of meeting Christians, but then that makes Christian look weak. What are the odds? What's the percentage of Christian actually wins this thing? I'm saying about, I'll give it 5-10%. That's just too early for Swerve, man. Too early for Swerve. They got to run with him, but at the same time, Christian being a heel champion for AEW is very, very, that's money. That's money, and I think he's definitely good enough to do it. I don't know. You don't want to push him down the ladder. I thought this was a perfect opponent for the Young Bucks to announce for Swerve. You don't want to push Christian down there either. Copeland's off doing his own thing now, so they'd have to come up with something for Christian to do after Swerve. But I say Swerve retains. My excitement level is pretty damn high. I'd say it's about out of 9. Really looking forward to that match and seeing what goes down. I'll say Nana helps him somehow. Anarchy in the arena. I really don't like saying Team Elite versus Team AEW, but that's what it is. Young Bucks, Okada, Jack Perry versus Bryan Danielson, Darby Allin, and FTR. Definitely, I love Eddie Kingston on the mic. Glad it's not going to be him in this match in the ring. I do think that was looking kind of weak. They needed a stronger member for Team AEW. Danielson, very strong. FTR, strong. With Darby Allin coming back. Yes, sir. Good stuff. They're not going to win. They're not going to win. It's too early. Way too early again in this storyline for the faces to go over. You got to keep getting the heat on the Elite. And that match should be pretty wild. I'm not saying my excitement levels at about an 8. 8 for that one. What's there to predict here. I don't think anybody else gets involved. I just think the Elite figure out a way to win this one. AEW Women's World Championship, Toni Storm, Serena Deeb. I'm sorry. I respect the heck out of Serena Deeb. Thank you for sacrificing your body each and every week for us. She's a proven, gutsy ring veteran. I guess she's a decent opponent, but not a double or nothing. I hate to say it, but again, this just speaks to how the women's division, even though it's come a long way, still has a long way to go. I just think there's got to be better opponents out there for Toni Storm than Serena Deeb. But this will be a nice title defense for Toni Storm. She's had the title for a while, but Serena Deeb is not the right person to take it from her. You keep running with Toni Storm. I know not everybody loves it, but I freaking love it. I think for the most part, it's very, very over. Her character, her gimmick, and her title reign, and I think it needs to continue. My excitement level is at about a 6.5, 7. I'll give it a 7 just because I do love Toni Storm that much. But I don't know. I'm just not a big Serena Deeb fan. Again, respect her, but I don't know. She doesn't do a whole heck of a lot for me. And then as far as like a marquee double or nothing match, meh. Toni retains. Yeah. And then the crowd's loving her, but she still does heel things too. But I don't know. I don't know how that one will go down. Not sure. Sorry. Moving on. TNT Championship. Woo! Man, we're going to have to ask myself, what am I most excited for? Double or Nothing or King and Queen of the Ring? Can I go ahead and answer that right now? Because as I go down this card here, I'm pretty damn excited for Double or Nothing. I really am. A lot of matches on here. King and Queen of the Ring, got me decently excited. But this is their 5-year anniversary show. And they put together a pretty damn good card. And I'm excited about most of these matchups, including Adam Copeland and Malachi Black inside a barbed wire steel cage. Prediction: there will be blood. You can better believe and bank on that, baby. I'm going to go with Copeland's had it for a hot minute, right? Yeah, he's done some Cope Open challenging and gave a lot of people some title shots. I mean, not all of them great, but he's had a decent run. He's a veteran. He doesn't need to keep it that long. Move this thing along to Malachi Black. Heat me up. The House of Black needs to be burning hot. And there's a big old pile of black ash over there from the fire that's burned so hot for the House of Black. They've been down a little bit with Julia Hart losing the TBS championship. We haven't even seen her in a while. I don't believe so. But I think they've done a decent job of keeping House of Black relevant, and this is a way to make them shine. And so I'm giving it to Malachi Black. I think that, probably Brody, Buddy get involved. Maybe Copeland gets a little help. I don't know, or maybe just Malachi just beats him clean. Why not? I like it. I'm really excited about this match. I don't know when the last time I seen a barbed wire steel cage. So, AEW is pretty damn hardcore a lot of the time. So, whenever they do hardcore stuff, it doesn't always excite me because I think they do it overkill. They've gotten better about not totally doing it overkill. And this is pretty new and inventive, and I haven't seen it, so I'm pretty excited. My excitement level's at about a 9. And maybe a 9.5. It's hard to say whether I'm more excited about this one. Maybe a little less excited. I don't know. And I'm going to say about a tie. This one is in the world heavyweight. Maybe I'm going to go more. I'm going to go more just because I don't know who's going to win, and it's inside a barbed wire steel cage. Love both these guys going. I am going to predict Malachi Black, though. TBS Championship. I would say that's a second. I'll still say third match I'm most excited about. I don't know, on some other wrestling shows, they were talking about this, and Busted Open, I heard them talking about this is what a few of the guys, a couple of them anyway, saying they were most looking forward to this match here, Willow Nightingale, Mercedes Moné, and I'm very much looking forward to it as well. I thought the contract signing the other night was done to perfection. We didn't know whether Mercedes could take a bump yet. Probably figured she could. You're only 3 or 4 days away from, I guess at that point it was a week and a half away. So yeah, we didn't know. We didn't know if Mercedes was going to be ready to take a bump. So kind of shocking as she got put through the table. I think that was executed very well. Mercedes now finally leaning into being a heel. I think she definitely absolutely should be a heel. She's been kind of in limbo, or she came back, of course, came back to wrestling. Well, I guess she was in Japan, but came to AEW. We hadn't seen her on our American TV, so she came back to our American TVs for the first time in a long time to AEW. So, of course, she's going to get a babyface reaction for those first couple, 2-3 weeks, doing promos. Once that wears off, though, she's a heel through and through. So get her out of this limbo. I thought they did that on Dynamite. And I think that this is very intriguing. Could go either way here. It really could. Like, Willow's fairly young run. If she loses, does it hurt her really that bad? I don't know. I think you ought to give it to Mercedes. Get her heat. Have her shove it down the fan's face, and then we get a slow 2-3 month build back to maybe Willow getting it back. Maybe Willow goes on to challenge Toni Storm. But then does that make Toni Storm, she's kind of in between heel and babyface, so Willow and Toni Storm might be fine. Maybe is Willow that good yet to be? I don't know. No, she shouldn't take it off Toni Storm, so maybe she should keep it here. But I think I'm getting heat on Mercedes because otherwise, well, then again, I'm going to say Willow keeps it. I'm going to say Mercedes. They still figure out a way to make her a heel. Maybe she just fully leans into it, like she tries to cheat her way but to victory here. And then she's got to go to the world title picture to me. Mercedes does. So that's the only reason I'm going to say she doesn't win this is because I think she needs to go to the world. I think it would help her very much to win this, but I think she needs to go to the world title picture. So I don't think that she'll win. Just going to say one more thing on that. Remember what it was. My excitement level, about an 8. About an 8 for that one. AEW International Championship, Roderick Strong, Will Ospreay. I'll tell you, my excitement level was at about a 5 originally, just because I didn't think that this was the right opponent for Roddy at such a big event. Or for Ospreay, I should say, being Roddy at such a big event. But I'm into it. These guys have sold me on this match. My excitement level's at about a 7.5. Will Ospreay's taking this thing. He will be your new international champion. It will be clean, obviously, with him being a babyface, Undisputed Kingdom. Maybe Adam Cole even gets involved. And we see Will Ospreay and Adam Cole. When's Adam Cole going to be released to wrestle? Clear him. Will Ospreay, Adam Cole, sign me up. AEW World Heavyweight Championship eliminator match? Eliminator match? Why is this not for the title? Is this double or freaking nothing? This should be for the title. I don't get it. Don't understand it. Excitement level's at about a 2. It should be for the title. I'm not a huge Moxley fan. I do like Takeshita. I've liked him ever since JR called him the Japanese Randy Orton. But no, 2. I guess since it's an eliminator match, I'm going to go with Takeshita winning it. And then he'll get a title shot. What, are you going to do that on Dynamite? Nah. FTW Championship, excitement level. Oh, it's Chris Jericho versus, I guess, to be determined, I guess, Hook and Shibata and Brian Keith. Yeah, they've had qualifiers for the triple threat. That'll be on Dynamite. Is anybody else winning this besides Hook? No. So Hook's going to face Jericho. Do they give it right back to Hook? I don't know. I'm going to say Jericho retains. He just got the damn thing. And he hasn't even had one title defense. I think they slow burn it to get it back to Hook. And I think Jericho retains. My excitement level's at about 3 or 4. I say that Big Bill helps Chris Jericho keep it. Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta. Grudge match. End it. Orange Cassidy needs to win it. Excitement level's at about a 6. All right, that is it. That is all. That is my excitement level for Double or Nothing. It stays at about a 8.7. My excitement level for King and Queen of the Rings at about an 8. Yeah. That's it for that. It's been kind of a long episode, so I'll tell you what, guys, I am not going to do a top 10, top 25 men's or women's right now, but I do want to announce this. I'm going to start as shorts. Maybe we'll do a few other longer videos as shorts. YouTube only. We're no longer doing Top Rope podcast on TikTok. Just trouble uploading and everything. I'm sticking to YouTube, strictly to YouTube. So we're going to debut on YouTube for the shorts. Top 10 Tuesdays. Top 10 Tuesdays, maybe even top 10 Thursdays. I like to just do it. Yeah, I like to do both. I'd like to do both. It's tough. I got a lot of other shows. Please check those out. GaryMartinMedia.com, at Gary Martin Media on YouTube. But we're going to try to stick to just doing these wrestling-only ones on the Top Rope podcast. And probably going to shift everything away from Gary Martin Media. So make sure if you're watching this on Gary Martin Media that you go subscribe to the Top Rope podcast here on the old YouTube. And I thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit like, follow, subscribe, all that good jazz. We will see you next time. God bless.